Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is officially that time of year. The holiday season is upon us and Christmas is just right around the corner. So for today's show, I want to give you 11 different gift ideas that you could potentially get someone in the sport of racing. And this video is probably going to be more for people in dirt racing, but it could be motorsports in general, and that could be a driver, a crew member, someone who wants to be a driver, or just a die-hard race fan. So let's get started with my first recommendation, and that would be a GoPro or an action camera. If you have a couple $100s to spend, I feel like this is an absolute home run. Whether you're just starting out or you have a 15 or 20 or 30 year veteran in the sport, we can all benefit from having a camera on our car to watch our races back and learn. But you could even throw that out the window. You know, some people probably just want to watch it back to have a good time, relive the race, and you know, watch it with their buddies. So like, there's many benefits. You could use it as a tool, but you could also use it to have for the future, save the footage, show your future kids, your family, or your other loved ones to kind of help take them along for your journey. And throughout the video, as I speak on these different products and brands, if you guys would like to check them out for yourselves, they will all be linked at the top of the description. So moving along to my next gift idea, and I know this one would be super useful for most, and that is a subscription to one of the useful services that we use in our sport. And of course, the list of subscriptions could get long in a hurry, but you know, just to throw a couple out there, you have Flow Racing, you have Dirt Vision, and then of course, depending on what you want to watch in your area, you have more specific streaming providers. For example, I have a good friend named Kyler Shaw who owns Fast 4 Media. He supports my racing program, so you could give someone, you know, 3-month subscription on his website or a whole year package, and like that would be great. And if you're a race fan or even you're a racer and you can't make it to all the shows and you still want to watch, that would be excellent to get. A couple of other subscriptions that are not necessarily streaming is, you know, like what My Race Pass or Race Monitor has to offer. So that's a great idea for a useful subscription that someone could use at the track or away from it to kind of help improve their experience and keep up with what's going on. So my third idea for someone in the motorsports world, and this is specifically for the guys behind the wheel doing the battle, but that is to purchase new safety gear. And that covers everything head to toe that could potentially keep you safe while you're doing what you love behind the wheel. This is also a good time of year for it because many companies are running deals to get rid of, you know, the existing stuff they have. For example, Pit Stop USA, they're one of my partners and they carry a bunch of safety gear. So if you're looking for like a wide selection of stuff, they probably have you covered. So now moving on to my fourth gift idea that I would recommend, and that is a receiver. In my opinion, this is just a really solid or safe choice. You're gonna spend $100, so they're very affordable, and you know, whether your driver already has one, you know, it's nice to have an extra. Whether you're a fan, you know, and you want to listen to all the communications on what's going on with everyone on track, it can help connect the dots and tell the story of what's happening during the race. I always tell people it never hurts to have a couple of these in their trailer because even though they're such a durable little device, you know, stuff happens, they fly out of your car, they get ran over, whatever the situation may be, and then, you know, just like anything, they don't work, so you replace them, on to the next, and you're ready to go. So idea number 5 for someone in the motorsports world, and this one goes hand in hand with the previous, but that is a nice pair of headphones to wear if you're in the car, or if you're outside the car, a nice pair of ear muffs, or you know, headphones to block out the noise so it's not so hard on your hearing. I can definitely admit that being younger, you take for granted how good your hearing is, and you don't realize, you know, how fast it can be damaged. And whether you can hear the engine from up close, or you're just in the stands, or you're in a building, you know, during indoor season, all of that can be heavily affected. So a good pair of headphones to wear would have my highest recommendation for someone wanting to be involved in the sport. So my sixth idea, and I feel like this one could also be worth some really good points, but just give them some of their favorite drivers' merchandise. Of course, not everyone, but most people, and especially, you know, the guys at the top of dirt racing and motorsports in general, we all have some sort of apparel. For example, mine's over on tannerhomes.com/shop, and we've dropped so many different designs this year, from, you know, the AT&T car to the Shark Racing car to even some lifestyle stuff. And what's also good about this is you could get it done earlier in the year. If you go to a race and, you know, guys have merchandise trailers, you could get your shopping done months ahead of time for someone and pick it up there and avoid, you know, having to ship it. But at the same time, most drivers have online stores, have websites, and they will happily ship it to your location. And of course, this totally depends on who you're buying for, but if someone is a die-hard race fan of one certain driver, this is probably the best gift you could get them. So my 7th gift idea that I would recommend, and of course this is for the drivers, but some tear-offs. Now of course, if you're buying for a younger driver, they probably would not find this exciting at all. Someone like myself, if you bought me, you know, 10 packs of tear-offs, I would be stoked. That'd be a great way to get stocked up at the beginning of the season. And especially in wing sprint car racing, depending on track conditions, if it's really, really wet, it's not uncommon to go through 20, 30, 40 tear-offs in a night. But to give you some context, why I might get excited if someone purchased that for me is every pole is $1. If you're buying at retail price, usually a pack, which is 30 tear-offs, is 30 bucks. So if you're starting third or fourth row in a heat race and you're just getting smoked when everyone steps on the gas and you're 5 poles in on the first lap, there's $5 out the window. Which, like I said, that might not sound bad. I just kind of wanted to give you context on how that works. The nice tear-offs that are laminated and are in stacks of 10 that go, that's roughly how they price out. So my next gift recommendation that I have for you is very simple, but just a nice pair of gloves. Now these could be for working on cars, or this could also be, for staying warm at the races. That's really all I got on that one. I think you kind of just know when you're shopping for that person, if they're the type that would want to wear gloves, or a lot of people also don't. So my 9th gift idea for you, and this is for all the people that are just sweating it out in the summertime trying to race as much as possible, or if you live in a region where it's a little bit more humid, or like out here on the West Coast we have really dry heat, I would recommend purchasing a couple of cooling rags that you can wear around your neck while you work, or while you're just waiting for the races to start, or in between being in the car. Now this would be great for drivers, but I feel like it's even more important for the crew guys, because sometimes the drivers have a little bit more time. They can kind of get away, go in a motorhome, or go in the front of a lounge, or just be more in the trailer in the shade, where crew guys, they have to power through it. If they're working on the car, they're having to make an adjustment, they're having to fix something. There's no just like timeout, let's go sit down and rejuvenate. You got to get it done so the car can get back on track or get ready for its next race. And that's also a good transition into my 10th gift idea recommendation, which is the opposite side of things, and that would be a heated jacket. Now when we race in the winter time at Red Bluff Outlaws or Roseburg Indoor, and it's literally like 32 degrees, we not only have a heater, but a lot of times people are wearing heated jackets just to stay warm. And this one again could be beneficial for everyone, because it could make it more enjoyable to watch a race. It could be more enjoyable to be a racer, because there's nothing worse than being cold in your car. And then also the crew guys too, as they're touching the tools, and they have probably a little bit more exposed because they are moving around. I think if you're a national team and you're kind of traveling to all different areas of the country, or you just live somewhere that is a little bit colder, this would be a great idea. Now we got to finish it off with my 11th idea, and this one is by far the most expensive on the list. If you're wanting to get someone an actual race car and get them started, or a young one and you want to gift them something really unique, I would say to purchase them an outlaw kart. No matter where you're at throughout the United States, most regions have some form of outlaw kart racing or go-kart racing in general, so you really couldn't go wrong with either or. But especially if you're here on the West Coast, you have a kid that's 4, 5, 6 years old, and they want to go fast, and they talk about that, and they watch NASCAR and they watch sprint cars. Spending a couple $1,000s on a used kart, or if you did want to just buy a brand new one from QRC, both of those would be great options. And my friends down there, Jim Yelich, who owns the company, QRC, they have options for like turnkey outlaw karts ready to rip out the door. So it takes the guesswork out for you and makes it really easy. I saved the biggest and the best one for last, but I figured it was worth mentioning. If you're wanting to get into racing, a great way to do it is outlaw karts, and you're wanting to gift that for someone. Usually it's in your family, or usually for one of your kids. That's a great option. All right, so that's 11 of my best gift ideas that I would recommend for purchasing someone in the motorsports world. Hopefully I made some of your shopping a little bit easier and you got some good stuff checked off your list. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. And if you have any better ideas that you think we should add to the list in the future, let me know in the comment section down below. Deuces.